First, I'd like to apologize for the inconveniency of me explaining poorly in this specific step of the building a spreadsheet sheet rather on the step 74. And I admit that I don't know much about the purpose of the high precedence function on this code or in this specific code. So let's stick on what we know. We know that the high precedence is an evaluation of which operation should be prioritized first. And in this code provided by the free code camp, we focus on the operation multiplication and division. So I believe that free code camp or this code, specific code of the function high precedence is trying to achieve the operation between a number and or a decimal number such as this operation. A 3.5 multiplied by 2, a number 10 multiplied by a decimal number 2.5, and a number 3 multiplied by number 2, a decimal number 4.5 divided by another decimal number 1.5. And I believe that the free code camp is trying to tell us that we should achieve or instructs us that we should achieve this calculation with the use of regex. So let's start by declaring a regex variable. We use const and then declare the variable regex and then assign it to our regular expression. So this is our regular expression, just an example by the way. And the opening and the closing of it is called the regular expression literal. And we are to input the three things we should input um, instructed by us from the instruction. So if we refer here the instruction, it says we should assign a regular expression. So inside of here, it should match a number including a decimal number. So that should be a decimal number. That is our first tick box. The second one says it should be followed by an operation of multiplication. Should be have a multiplication, and I want you to take note that it states or. So we should use or and then the operator division. And it should be followed by another number. And that is our third tick box. It should be followed by another uh, number. Each number and the operator should be in separate capture groups. So if we refer to what we know, we have 3. Therefore, we should have 3 capture groups inside our regular expression. 1, 2, and 3. And let's focus on our first tick box. We should capture a number. We can do that by simply enter or writing an open and a close bracket, and inside of it is where we input a slash and then a D and then a plus. So what this does is that the D is actually a shorthand for digit actually, and then this is a quantifier which detects one or more occurrences. So if we read full as a full inside our first capture group, perhaps if wait perhaps if the user inputs a 1 to 3, JavaScript would detect it, or JavaScript would detect the 1 to 3 input by the user. And so if the user inputs ABC123, JavaScript would detect it, would detect rather the 123 user input from the ABC123 input. So essentially, or basically rather, this is used for detection input from the user. So we have finished detecting the number. But take note, we should also include the decimal number as the instruction says. It should include a decimal number. We can do that by simply adding a period in here or a dot. So we can now able to detect a number or a decimal number in one or more occurrences. So let's say if a user inputs 1.3, JavaScript would detect the 1.3. So if a user again inputs 1.3 ABC5, JavaScript would detect the 1.3 and then the number 5. So it has a decimal number 1.3 and then a number 5 in one or more occurrences. It has been detected in that manner. And we have now successfully finished or did achieve the matching of a number and a decimal number with this capture group. So we have finished our first tick box or a to-do list, our very first to-do list. We are now to focus the second one, which is in our second capture group. Wait, let me check. Wait, no, later. So we should include the operations multiplication and then the division rather. So we include here the first and open the open and close bracket, and inside of it would be the operation multiplication, and take note that it says or. You can simply do that with this slash and then add the division operator. So if we read this, it should take either the multiplication or the division. It should only pick one. So we have successfully again finished or achieved our second to-do list. And if we um, try to read this code as JavaScript, JavaScript would have an example such as, let's say, example here. If we apply this code, it should have a 1 and a number a it should have any number such as 1 multiplied by none, any number or any decimal number such as 1.5 divided by none, because there's nothing here. Why, you might ask? Because we did not enter any number or any decimal number in our third capture group. So JavaScript is expecting uh, a number or any decimal number that we should multiply or divide to it. So we should just copy this one in this part. So this would now turn into this one. So as you can see, if we go back again, have a little bit of step back, we know that this accepts any number and any decimal number. And it should, in this capture group, either pick multiplication or a division. And we have successfully also, it should follow a number, any number rather. So essentially, we also have finished our third tick box. And if we read this code, it should have an example of these calculations. An example of a decimal number 3.5 from here, from this capture group, multiplied, so it has chosen the multiplication rather than the division, by a number of 2. So it chose a number here instead of a decimal number. Again, let's have another example. We have here 10 divided by 2.5. So in here, rather than a decimal number, it has captured a digit number 10, and then in this part, it also has captured a operation of division rather than the multiplication. And in this part, it has captured a decimal number of 2.5 rather than a number. So essentially, a this is a code for detecting user input for these calculations. So if we go, oh, we should return. So we should return the regex and then the test and then the str. So basically that would be it. And if you got more questions, please feel free to comment down below and I will try to explain it again. Nice.